and I'm from Cogniom, and I'm proud to announce our premier solution, the Tandem Suite. But first, I need to take you back a few years and introduce you to Mary Ellis. Mary Ellis, Granny B as I call her, is my grandmother, and in 2017, she was admitted to hospital with heart condition. Because she wasn't given her medications on time, she was admitted to the ICU for an extra 5 days. Okay, breathe, she's fine. She's still with us, but at that moment, it did make me sit up and realize, why were nurses having so many problems with medications? And why were medications being given off schedule so often? It was at that point that Cogniom, our company, was born. I quit my job for 13 years, and I spent months talking and researching with nurses to find out that technology was actually one of the greatest pain points they often identified. 7 out of 10 would tell me that health tech is actually reducing my productivity. 8 out of 10 would say it's taking time away from patient care. When pressed further, they would say it's obviously the tech department's fault. They're the ones that are giving us all these tools that we simply can't use. Okay, who's the tech department I have to go talk to? Yeah, that was me. For those 13 years, I was the senior lead systems architect at Cerner Corporation, and I implemented dozens of electric medical record systems worldwide, including several right here in Queensland. That was a pretty stark realization. I'm partially responsible for Granny B's bad hospital experience. But wait one second, health tech is one of the most regulated of any industry with strict regulations. So if the hospital is giving us requirements and tenders and the technology departments are just delivering what's being requested, how are we all still giving out solutions that hospitals and nurses aren't liking? And what do we do to make this better? And so we created the Tandem Suite. Tandem is a continuous improvement software toolset that digitizes time and motion studies. Currently, this is what's being used in healthcare as state-of-the-art. Using programs like the NHS Productive Ward, paper templates are printed off, and using a stopwatch, we do studies. A 5-day study done this way takes over 240 sheets of paper, and those results all have to be calculated into Excel before we can actually use them in graphs. Using Tandem, that entire process is digital. Researchers watching their nurses can immediately prepare, interpret, produce results, and all of it's in real time. In fact, for every dollar that we spend on Tandem, a hospital can get back an immediate minimum $5 savings and save study costs. When Austin approached us for our very first trial, they were having problems with the medication rounds. They were saying our medication rounds are taking far too long. Medications aren't being delivered to patients on time. Yep, that sounds familiar. So we went in with Tandem and started investigating. And these mobile workstations was what they had to use during the medication rounds. Nurses, during this, using Tandem, we could see we're having problems. 20 minutes into the medication round, these workstations were going completely dead without any notice, warnings, notifications, and they would stay that way for 20 minutes during the morning medication rounds, were the most busy of their day. Nurses had left and started losing faith in all of these systems, and so they began plugging them into the corners of the ward and leaving them there all day long, which increased all of the transit time and duplicated all their documentation to the medical record. Using Tandem, we could conclusively prove with data that medication rounds weren't the problem. The battery life on these devices was what we needed to address. Since then, word has since spread. We've already signed letters of intent with 3 hospitals and clinics, with several more underway, to use Tandem on future projects. And this traction's been made possible by an incredible team of dedicated professionals that have one core vision in mind: to help improve the way healthcare is being delivered. And we're seeking $500,000 from private investors to help us scale our software, provide future integrations, and a sales and marketing campaign that will get us to our first 10 hospitals on 5-year contracts. Tandem set to roll out to private hospitals, both here and in the US. And with that, we project that we can get Cogniom profitable and sustainable within 18 months. Technology is currently exploding in healthcare. And this change is going to create massive, uncomfortable situations for nurses if we don't start including them in our health tech designs. Using Tandem, we can finally revolutionize healthcare by allowing tech departments and nurses to work together so that new tech tools are helping nurses. That way, all patients, including my Granny B, can have the best patient care imaginable. But you don't have to take my word for it, because we've already done the TAM study tonight. We've taken all the pitches that you've seen this evening and put them on the downloadable dashboard. So I can tell you exactly how long each person spent on each slide, each category, how much each person talked about each of their competitors' customer growth, how much their slides used. And is there more, guys? Wave hi. Hi. Is it gonna go more? It's there. It's there. I blame Internet Explorer. Alright. If you say it's there, it's gonna be outside.
It's there. I'm looking right at it.
Give me 1 second, let me see if I can refresh this guy.
Yay!
Internet Explorer, sorry. So with our presentation breakdown, we can see how long we took on each individual category. I can see how many slides each presentation took. I can even compare my two researchers, way behind the back guys. They may disagree on how many slides you took, so I can calibrate the accuracy between our researchers to make sure we're all tracking the same way. And finally, I know who went over the presentation time 6 minutes later. So if you'd like to talk to Cogniom or talk about the tandem suite and how it might be able to help you, please see us at our booth afterwards. And for all of your presenters, it's on the dashboard outside, so we'll be out there and waiting. Thank you very much.